Old habits die hard. This podcast might also be a little two-part situation, but let's dive right in. Somebody close to me is going through something very bizarre right now. He is deeply aware of his sabotage patterns. He knows that as a result of his childhood trauma, as a result of much of what he has worked through, gone through all kinds of amazing healing containers to resolve, just in a beautiful relationship with his heart where he consistently is going inward and intending to really alchemize and release that pattern from his life, right? Um, so, all in all, what we're saying is this human being is really, really, really well versed with all of the slight edges and nuances of his childhood trauma, of his patterns, of unhelpful habits that destroy the things that he really desires. And the closer those things come, the more he starts acting up. So we were talking about this, we're having a little tribal council about this, and it was fascinating to me that I there was nothing new that I was saying that this gentleman wasn't well aware of. He understands how this translates in his work. He understands how this translates in his connections. He understands how this translates in his friendships, in his romantic relationships. He understands how it shows up in his money. But he can't stop himself from doing it. This is the thing that is fascinating me. This thing I was harping on about in the last couple of videos called the $1 billion wellness industry that has beautiful heart-centered human beings like this reading 20 books at a time, doing all kinds of beautiful practices, breathwork, meditation, going to retreats, attending conferences that are going to transform his life. Okay. Business people are really fascinating. And the schooling system has tricked us into this idea that the more we study, the more books we read, the more we learn about something, the more we understand it. Nothing could be further from the truth. The irony of all ironies is this is not just this gentleman. I have about 3 clients like this that are very, very much like this because they're very sharp mentally. They are at the top of their game. They probably need to be replaced by about 4 people in their organization. They grasp concepts very quickly and they can quickly metabolize kind of a deeper understanding when you share with them, like, hey, so this little thing, it's kind of like a giant shotgun that you keep driving through your foot. That's probably not the right way to say that, but you know what I'm saying. And of course, they immediately grasp the concept, but they cannot apply the principle of kicking the habit of sabotaging opportunities when they show up, of destroying potential relationships when they show up, of spending their money frivolously on things that don't really matter to them. Where am I going with this? There's 2 things I want to touch on today. The first is that you might feel very stuck. Many of us do. We get to a point where we are like, oh my gosh, if I have to do one more mastermind, if I have to fill in the blanks, you might be very, very confused because all this stuff, all this heavy lifting you are doing should be delivering some kind of external 3D reality results. Your relationships should look different. Not you should know better how your whatever personality type and your attachment type and your human design is actually affecting your relationship. No, how to actually implement in real time physiological somatic changes that result in a different ending, a different physical outcome in real life. Most wellness, coaching, I don't know, trauma therapy, most of what we have available to us in this day and age is not doing that. How do I know that? Much of the time, people that come to me asking for my help, not just clients, I mean, just generally people that I care about or people that I bump into, that I have conversations with for the first time. I was talking to a lady last night and we were talking about this very thing. She can't even begin to name all the masterminds she's been in. But boy, how to actually ground all of that shit into lived reality, she has no idea. No cooking clue. It drives her insane. Why are we like this? Why has it become more important to sell people knowledge than to teach them how to embody and translate for themselves how to turn knowledge into somatic understanding? This is a very big Grand Canyon that I'm just today going round and round in circles about, thinking, holy shit, there's so much more work to be done here than we are actually admitting. While the world is exploding and things are booming and ideas are booming and technology is ramping up its development speed, I blinked twice, thrice, and 25 more AIs just hit the market that are making life quicker, easier, blah, 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 all of this stuff. And yet, we can't stop our own bodies from pulling out a giant rifle that we can tell you the angles, what bullets are in that freaking rifle. We can tell you what the smoke smells like every time we fire that rifle into our foot. But boy, can we not stop the somatic and metabolic and neural pathway habit of picking that thing up and going boof, boof, boof in our foot. Why is this? This is very, very disconcerting. Curious, maybe. Some would say it's just human behavior. I disagree. Let's roll into part 2.